So I've yet to watch Matt Walsh's Am I a Racist? But I've seen some previews of it and it's already so funny. And for those of you who haven't been keeping up, Matt Walsh pretty much goes undercover as a DEI expert to infiltrate the operations of the anti-racist movement, aka the self-loathing white women.
My daughter's 4 years old. I am an anti-racist educator, quote unquote. She's still watching Disney movies and she is choosing a white princess over princesses of color.
Have you talked to her about that?
All the time.
My 3-year-old daughter is her favorite princess is Moana.
Love it.
It's a good sign.
Yeah.
But then I also thought, there's a little bit of cultural appropriation here. She wants to be Moana for Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we navigate that? Do I go and buy the Pacific Islander native attire for my white 3-year-old?
I wouldn't. I wouldn't.
But I guess what we might call the Moana problem here is what, on one hand, is cultural appropriation. On the other hand, there's gravitating towards white characters.
Right.
So it's almost like no matter which way you go, you end up back in racism.
We think every space belongs to us because we live in a white supremacist society.
Is America an inherently racist country?
I think the word inherent is challenging there. If we say...
Fundamentally,
yes. America is racist to its bones. All of the...
So inherently.
Yeah.
Okay, this is perfect because it really shows that you cannot win with people like this. Her 4-year-old daughter, if she wants to dress up as her favorite Snow White or Cinderella, that's a big no-no because somehow that's rooted in racism. Like, give me a break. She's 4 years old and she's not hurting anybody. She's perpetuating this idea that America is inherently racist, but gets squirmish when Matt uses that exact terminology. It's almost as if she just wants to virtue signal and doesn't actually believe what she's saying. Now, for context, the person in that interview was PhD Kate Slater, who on her own website calls herself a white anti-racist scholar and educator. She also teaches at the University of New Hampshire, with one of her curriculum being Teaching Race, exploring the history of race and racism in America. And she's also co-creator of the Anti-Racist Roadmap, where it specifically says that the purpose is not to help you feel better as a white person. Well, she was unhappy with the film because she took to Instagram to say, "This piece of crap film comes out Friday, and if you're wondering why I've been off the radar, it's because I've had an inbox full of angry white men who are incensed that I don't let my daughter dress as Moana for Halloween." To which Walsh replied, pointing out that her ex account had also been deleted, that she should be more proud of her pivotal role in this film, and that they couldn't have done it without her. Which indeed, you cannot find her ex account at the time. And again, if she actually believed what she put on her website and what she talked about with Matt Walsh, she wouldn't be so ashamed. She'd be proud, which serves as more evidence that she knows she's being completely ridiculous in her approach. But guys, it gets better. She's not the only one that's deleted her ex account as a result of all this. Because next you have Sarah Rowe, who is an Indian American political activist and whom, along with African American activist Regina Jackson, hosts Race to Dinner, where a white woman volunteers to host a dinner in her home for 7 other white women at $2,500 a pop, where white people are forced to learn about their supposed complicity in white supremacy. And Matt went undercover as a waiter at one of those events.
All you do is talk about each other, talk about yourself. Oh my God, I'm so fat.
That's all they do. I tell you, these white women.
But that's it. I'm so fat, I'm so stupid, I'm blah, blah, blah.
Sorry.
Your kids are watching you, and they're watching you talking about each other, raging against the machine or being silent or whatever the hell it is that you're doing or not doing, and they know that you're not doing shit for them.
That's so important. That is so important what you just said.
His trolling is top notch, and I love how the people are getting angry because they know they're getting called out on their BS.
That's all.
We may have to add you to our team.
Oh, I would love to take a seat and join you.
No, you're not allowed to.
Okay.
Definitely not allowed.
I love how they're telling him that he can't be part of the conversation when they're the ones that are always preaching about inclusivity. Such idiots.
I have my DEI certification that I got.
Okay.
So, not saying I'm an expert, but I'm also not a novice. So, okay.
White people are starved for these conversations.
We are. We're so starving.
Yeah.
We are so starving for this.
Anyone else want to say anything?
I'll just say one thing. I'm so glad we can have these conversations, and I'll be done. But I'm just so glad that we could all get together to have these conversations. That's all I wanted to say.
Is he an actor? Are you an actor?
Oh, no.
Can you let us, we're trying to listen and trying to have this conversation.
Okay. We're all acting all the time in our lives. And I think that that's part of the problem, you know? That it's like we're all trying to play a part rather than just being real and having these uncomfortable conversations. And that's what I'm always trying to tell people, especially, you know, white women, no offense, but.
No, but see, like, you're a white dude. There's power positions, and, you know, pointing white people pointing fingers at each other is not helpful.
You know,
I mean, how is she any better? She's clearly taking advantage of these white people who have this white guilt or whatever you call it, and she's spewing about how racist they are. And I love how she's calling him the one who's privileged when he's the one that's serving her meal, which, let me remind you that per person, she's profiting at about $2,500 plus a pop. Like, make it make sense.
You know, I've been on this journey for so long, and just to see you guys at the table having this conversation has been really enlightening for me. Anyway, I got the DEI certification, and I'm just on the journey. All right, you ladies have a great night.
Decolonize yourself. Do your own white supremacy dismantling. And then you can start to bring in other people.
Can I just say one last thing? Can I just propose a toast? I mean, just raise a glass if you're racist. And that's the thing.
Cheers. Oh, I'm not racist. Let me go.
Well, all the rest of it.
No, I think you are pretty racist, Regina, telling all white people that they have some form of this internalized white supremacy when you know nothing about them. Like, go kick rocks. I mean, she makes me so angry. Now, what started all this white self-loathing was Robin DiAngelo, who wrote the book White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism. And in the movie, she was apparently tricked into paying reparations on camera. As in a statement wrote back in 2023, she was contacted by a group who claimed to be making a documentary film called Shades of Justice about efforts to address racism in the United States that planned to interview anti-racist activists, authors, and thought leaders in service of supporting the cause of racial equity, which she agreed to do for $15,000. But when she arrived for the interview, things fell off with Matt wearing an ill-fitted wig, presenting himself as someone new to anti-racist work and seemed earnest, but later things got weird. Because when Matt asked what she felt about reparations, she said she agrees, but it's not her area of expertise. Then he invited black crew member Ben to take a seat and pulled out his wallet and gave him cash, and said that if she agrees with reparations, she should do it as well. She then expressed discomfort and asked Ben if he was okay with it, which he said he was, and so she did hand him cash from her wallet. And later on, she'd realized she'd been lied to, that she started receiving hateful and misogynistic emails, some referencing the Daily Wire, Ben Shapiro's website, which announced that the film is indeed being released, saying it is not meant to support the anti-racist cause. That is a Borat-style mockumentary titled, Am I Racist? Now on top of that, she has also deleted her X account. Which she is right that it is a mockumentary, but what she fails to realize is that they're trying to fight this form of racism that she's been perpetuating. This documentary, Matt Walsh, and the Daily Wire website, quote-unquote, will do more good for society than she ever will. Now, what's also funny about Robin is that she's been accused of plagiarizing minority scholars in her PhD thesis, ripping off the work of 2 Asian Americans. All the while on her website, she addresses her fellow white people, stressing the importance of promoting the work and services of BIPOC people, and to always cite and give credit to the work of BIPOC people who have informed your thinking. Like, guys, you can't make this stuff up. And like Alex Jones once said, you're not an intellectual, you're a fake and a fraud. And so are these other anti-racist activists who deleted their X account. And most people with a functioning brain understand that, including podcaster Zuby, who took to X to thank Daily Wire for inviting him to the premiere of Am I a Racist?, vibing with Michael Knowles, Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring, and Matt Walsh himself. Later saying he recently completed his anti-racism training with Matt Walsh, so they're now DEI certified. And then you have TikToker Black T News' review.
The theater really liked it. They really thought it was funny. It was funnier than I anticipated it to be. The theater was laughing a lot more than I was. Mostly watching it, I was like a bit annoyed. Like, I can't believe how successful these people are grifting folks out of money. And one thing the movie did was show how expensive it was. They put everybody's price tag in the segment that they were basically introduced. So I thought that was a very, very nice touch. And I'm just like, how are so many people out here struggling and they've just capitalized off of all of this white guilt and white ignorance. Matt has a gift for allowing people to just throw themselves on their own stupidity and their own silliness. A lot of like the kind of rhetoric they were saying are things that I'm familiar with because I'm like chronically online and have been following all this anti-racism stuff. But just to spoil a little bit, people not feeling like they can smile at black people because if they smile too much, it's like, we know why you're smiling, like, because I don't know, you're exercising some kind of like power over them. My mouth is dropped, and I turned to a friend of mine, and I'm like, I smile at strangers all the time in grocery stores, and they're trying to put it into the minds of white people that it's somehow evil. So it was great, especially when Matt like stepped into his journey to be a certified expert and do, after he did the work to give back and do his own sort of workshop. That was great. They went through different hate crime hoaxes that have occurred, particularly Jussie Smollett, and how they revisit that is just, it's great. Kudos to the team at Daily Wire. I heard, that their ticket sales are pretty successful right now, but they need more people to pre-order tickets because that'll open up in more theaters. And I wish them success with this. And in this particular case, they do deserve it. Kudos to Matt. Kudos to the team. And go see Am I Racist?
Which is a beautiful sight to see, and it just shows that Matt Walsh's work has been far more unifying than any of these race hustlers can ever be. Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, hopefully I've earned a subscription. Here's some videos for you to watch in the meantime. Until next time, peace out.